I didn't send you an invitation because I didn't think you'd fit the vibe. My sister said it with a laugh. Not a nervous one, a confident one. We were standing in my mother's living room, surrounded by wedding mood boards and fabric samples, gold accents, imported flowers, a guest list curated like a celebrity event, and apparently no space for me. It's not personal, she added quickly. It's just going to be very exclusive. Investors, his family's circle. You know how these things are. I did know. I knew that when she said exclusive, she meant impressive. When she said circle, she meant status. And when she looked at me like that, she meant, you don't belong there. My mother cleared her throat, but didn't defend me. My aunt pretended to scroll on her phone. No one argued, because in their minds, it made sense. I was the quiet sister, the simple one, the one who never posted luxury dinners or flashy gifts, the one who didn't look like she moved in powerful rooms. What they didn't know was that silence isn't emptiness. It's privacy. My sister continued, adjusting her engagement ring, so it caught the light. I just don't want any awkward questions. You know how people judge. Judge what? That I wasn't loud, that I wasn't desperate to perform success, that I didn't need validation from strangers. I felt something sharp in my chest. Not anger. Clarity. This wasn't about space. This wasn't about numbers. This was about hierarchy. And in her story, I was the background character. I smiled. I understand. I said gently, that confused her. She expected tears, or a fight, or at least hurt. Instead, I picked up my bag. I hope your day is beautiful, I added. Her smile flickered, just for a second. As I walked out, I heard her whisper to my mom, she'll be fine. It's not like she had plans anyway. I didn't stop walking. In the car, I sat quietly for a full minute. Then I opened my phone and typed one message. Are you free the weekend of the 18th? 3 dots appeared instantly. For you? Always. I looked at the confirmation email I'd received that morning, something I hadn't told anyone about yet. A private villa, oceanfront, reserved months ago. Funny how timing works. They thought they were excluding me from something important. They had no idea. I was about to be exactly where I belonged. Your one click can keep these stories alive. Subscribe, because every voice deserves to be heard. The weekend of her wedding arrived in a blur of white roses and curated perfection. Instead of sitting quietly in a corner seat I was never offered, I was stepping onto a private jet. He didn't make a show of it. He never did. My fiancé simply took my hand as we climbed the stairs and asked softly, "Are you okay?" "I am now," I replied. No bitterness, no sarcasm, just truth. We landed in Barbados just before sunset. The sky melted into pink and gold, and the ocean looked endless, like possibility itself. There were no seating charts here, no curated guest lists, no one measuring worth by last names. Just quiet. Meanwhile, back home, my sister's wedding was everything she wanted it to be: dramatic, expensive, public. She turned it into an event, a live stream, a spectacle. She wanted the world watching. I wanted peace. The next morning, we had breakfast overlooking the water. He read emails calmly, discussing acquisitions and partnerships like they were ordinary conversations. Because for him, they were. He had built his companies the same way I built my life, quietly, strategically, without announcing every move. Silence attracts substance. Around noon, I posted a single photo. No caption about where I was, no hashtags, no dramatic quotes, just the ocean behind us and his hand resting gently over mine. Within an hour, my phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Cousins, old classmates, even relatives who hadn't spoken to me in years. Wait, where are you? Is that a private jet? Who is he? And then her name flashed across my screen. 3 missed calls. A message followed. You're on vacation? I didn't answer immediately back home. I later heard the whispers had already started at the reception. Apparently, someone had seen my post mid-ceremony. Apparently, someone had asked, "Isn't that her sister?" Apparently, the mood shifted because contrast is louder than confrontation. The bride who curated exclusivity, the sister she excluded, sailing under open skies. By evening, another message came. You never told me you were engaged. I stared at it for a long moment. She never asked. She never cared to look beyond what she assumed. I finally replied with 2 simple words. You didn't listen. Then I put my phone face down and went back to watching the horizon. This was never about proving her wrong. It was about refusing to shrink. While she was busy managing perceptions, I was building reality. They were still discussing me in decorated halls. I was already far beyond their walls. 2 weeks after the wedding, there was a small family dinner. This time, I was invited. Formally. My sister opened the door herself. Her smile was polished, practiced, but her eyes were searching. Then he stepped in behind me. Calm, tailored, effortless. The room shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, just subtly. My father straightened in his chair. My aunt whispered his last name under her breath, recognition dawning slowly. My brother-in-law's expression tightened for a fraction of a second, because they knew that name, not from social media, from business pages, from investment headlines, from the kind of circles my sister had tried so hard to impress. And the irony? He wasn't impressed by any of it. He shook hands politely, thanked my mother for dinner, complimented the house. No dominance, no arrogance, just quiet presence. Halfway through the meal, my sister asked the question she'd clearly been rehearsing. So what exactly do you do? She asked him sweetly. He glanced at me first, then answered simply, I build things. That was it. No numbers, no titles. But my father had already pulled out his phone under the table. My aunt had already connected the dots. The silence that followed wasn't confusion. It was recalculation. Later, in the hallway, my sister finally said it. Why didn't you tell me? Her voice was lower now, less confident. Tell you what? I asked calmly, that you were this serious, that he was important. I held her gaze. I was always serious, I said. You just decided I wasn't. She didn't have a response. For the first time in our lives, she wasn't above me. She wasn't ahead of me. She wasn't narrating the story. She was adjusting to it. Before we left, my mother squeezed my hand and whispered, I misjudged. I smiled softly, not in victory, in closure. I never needed a wedding invitation to prove my worth, and I never needed revenge to change the room. They thought I was weak because I was quiet. They didn't realize I was simply building something they couldn't see. Silence isn't emptiness. It's preparation.